Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Advanced Wars Days of Ruin Tiny Wars replay. Spawn bottom right side as the OD green Cyrus. We got Billybones. Spawn top left side as the red Zhaotiantong. We got PeePeePooPoo. When it comes to the CO, Zhaotiantong is a custom CO, minus 90% boarding costs. So effectively, you get a 90% rebate on pawn loading a CO into a unit. No power, no superpower, no aura benefits, just that. That's his whole deal. Cyrus is technically a custom CO, even though it does use a Days of Ruin character. Has standard 50, 3, 30, 60, 60, standard boarding and CO zones. All units get plus 15, plus 15. Additionally, when his superpower is activated, his CO unit becomes unloaded and able to reload into any CO unit on the field. It also allows him to fire a relatively weak Mr. Silo at his own choosing of a location. So you can tech up your CO unit without necessarily have to lose it. And you generally don't want to lose it by you just generally don't want to lose a CO unit. So let's go get started. This map is a triple base map. One is neutral. This map, I think, got undergone with a little bit of changes. I don't remember a mountain here last time I checked. I thought there was just straight roads. I don't remember ruins there either. So I think this map has undergone some balance changes, or this could be completely different with what I'm thinking. Also, both players do start off an airport. And of course, just initial capture game. There's a handful of properties in the center, handful of properties in the corners. And no comm towers, nothing really special. Good number of bikes, one field. There's a good amount of roads for the bikes to utilize, so this is probably a decent map for wheeled vehicles. Recon, infantry. So do have an early recon. And do have a counter recon. That's interesting. I would assume we probably would have seen a tank or something of that sort. Because that'll be 4,000 or 2,000 big. Yeah, 6,500. So he would have to do a base skip to get out a tank. Got a tank and infantry and bike, and does point the tank to the back side, so we'll take an extra turn to get forward. Which may be a good idea to maybe, honestly, I think to pull out the tank up here to engage the opponent's recons. Do now have a tank here to engage the opponent's recon and potentially tank. This tank can really go either direction though. If you just take a quick look, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go, that's probably an easier way to look at it. It's relatively equal distance go either direction. So, seeing the tank deployed out there, he could decide to, if he really wants to not avoid the tank, he seems to go up north. But if he wants to engage the tank, then he go left. Oh, ruins. I thought they slowed down movement. What units get... Oh, it only slows down wheeled units by 1 tile. It's not like Wasteland. Okay, that's good to know. I sometimes even thought ruins slow down movement quite a bit like forests and wastelands. It is a hiding spot. It's a 1-star hiding spot, as opposed to forests, which are 3-star hiding spots, and wastelands are not hiding spots in case of fog of war. Though now think about it, Mists and Plains, that's 2 defense stars, so it is similar, the exact same ruins, just providing 2-star hiding spot in case you need to have either want to design your map with certain levels of hiding and defense stars. For instance, I guess a good way to have hiding spots but provides no real defensive benefits in comparison to plains, probably the most common tile deployed on the field, more so than roads. You have a command tank here deployed by Cyrus. And Zhaotiantong could CO one of these tanks here. It's better to be hyper aggressive for your CO unit for Zhaotiantong so you get a 90% rebate. After all, let's assume that he will seal his battlecopter here. It costs 9,000. With a 90% refund, it effectively makes that battlecopter only cost 900. Less than an infantry unit, and plus gets max efficiency stats. Good strike there. Of course, got a follow-up tank here to engage the command tank. Right now, they're both at 16,000 income. Red has pretty much free range in the middle of the map. Into your bike. Good strike there. Does get the bike. Good shots there. Got +1 CO zoom now for Cyrus. Goes back to hit these more wounded units since he's pretty wounded right now. He needs another 14 energy. There's 19 energy there. Battlecopter, anti-air, infantry. Tank. Good shots there. Anti-air push up north. Gets good strike on that tank. Relatively even duel right now, but is lacking a bit of reinforcements. We've got a tank and battlecopter right there. But overall, green has a lot of infantry up there to start flipping properties. Command tank backs off there. Red has quite a bit of forces here as well. Another tank. And tank infantry. Still no CO unit loaded with the boy on Zhaotiantong, but I think it really needs to be a bit more aggressive when doing that. Good strike on the infantry unit there. Gets a good round there. Battlecopter takes out puts some rounds in the infantry unit there. And the tank will escape with 3 health remaining. He is down to 1 round as well. 1 health, 1 round. And probably will go down after 1 round of combat. So that infantry unit there, outside the CO zone, so not getting any CO zone energy there. Good shot there. Anti-air rotating up north, a lot of infantry up there. They're both at 16,000 still. Tank, bike. Zhaotiantong now has a CO unit load up inside that tank, giving him a 90% rebate, so it's now it's worth 700 funds. Bike, and anti-air. Good strike there. Now he has the CO power available. He just needs the 5 to the next turn to pop it. Maybe also a very valuable unit this turn. He does not have enough for a war tank. He needs to merge a pair of infantry units together to get enough out for a war tank. Probably just pull out a medium tank this turn then. And that's going to be his future CO unit. Nice outlying picks. Right now, Zhaotiantong has 70,000 in the field versus 67, so they're pretty even. Getting some good strikes there. Battlecopter will have free reign. This ATR will not be able to reach the Battlecopter. It goes right there. So we may see him pull back, fire off the missile silo. Fires it up there. I think it also splashes his own infantry unit there. Not sure if it does friendly fire damage or not. It's at 2% health, so not sure. Of course, he does get plus 15% global, giving a nice little bit of extra firepower to work with this turn, as well as defense. Good strike on that tank, takes out that infantry there. Command tank up here. Well, oh, he reloaded the command into this tank here rather than to the medium tank. That's interesting. Thought he would have definitely loaded himself up into the medium tank. This tank, yep, will go and strike that recon. Good strike that anti-air. He may be able to finish off with the infantry unit. Does. Finish off. Does not take out this guy here. Down to 4 health. Should be able to take out this guy here. Maybe not. This will be a bit of a coin flip, honestly. Just besides pull back the tank. Couple infantry units moving around, tank pushing up north. Double bike now deployed in the field. Good shot there. Bike goes down, tank pushing around, gets a good shot there. Bit of a merge, anti-air heads down south. Anti-air as well. Not too many vehicle or aircraft in the air. I've got a single battlecopter, and that appears to be just it at the moment. Now there's another battlecopter up here. Making some good headway down south against these bikes. Is trying to flip that property. Got multiple tanks, anti-airs, and artillery. Up north, there's still one despicable neutral property. Right now, Zhaotiantong has the income advantage, but it's only ever so slight. And the medium tank is in range. He has sealed inside this regular tank there. Takes out that tank there. Gets a good shot on the bike. Tank. We do have an anti-tank down here as well. A decent number of bridges go past. I'm not sure the anti-tank was a good idea. It's pretty slow. Good strike there. We'll get some CO zone energy. Almost at the first level expansion. Good shot there on the tank. Infantry unit does go down. Battlecopter mech infantry. It looks like the medium tank will fall back to the city to get healed up, and rearmed. Anti-tank push forward. You gotta recon support him out. Gets a good strike there. Tank takes out tank. Right now, Cyrus does have a decent value advantage. But feels like he's a little bit more defensive at the moment. He is starting to flip some properties, leaving out the income. Tank. Anti-air tank. Takes out some of these outlying units there. Command tank over here. Doesn't have the... Has releases NGO 60. Get some damage there. Did not put any more damage there. ATR is down to 1 health. Battlecopter push way forward. So that's the only thing that engages battlecopter is this battlecopter. Yeah, he's trying to push up north as well. Overall, green feels like in a pretty good position now. Feels like red has more field control, but this can still go either way. Takes off some of these outlying units there. Takes a good artillery strike there. Pulls back the interior to get some healing going. And now the interior pushing down south. Command tank will not be able to get a CO power this turn, but we'll get some power, some good energy generation when it comes over here. Tank infantry. Tank does go down, takes the artillery piece. Tank does fall back. It's a good strike on the infantry in there. Medium tank push way forward, full healed up, and also veteran C2. Lots of good strikes there. Battlecopter, bike, and infantry. Apparently that can one-shot that. Some good kills over there at 94,000 versus 94,000. Extremely even at this moment. Of course, it has day-to-day, and this opponent will have his day-to-day as well. Goes to anti-tank infantry, trying to stabilize the region with an anti-tank. Got a medium tank infantry and bike. And great strike there on that medium tank. Knocks it out pretty decisively. Got, of course, a battlecopter and now 3 tanks as well as a mech. 4th tank there. Red has a massive force here. Green has really nothing to stop all those tanks. Get some great strikes on there. Cyrus almost has enough for a superpower. And very likely can pop it next turn. His command tank does take a good strike there, so probably going to pop his superpower. Good strike there. His superpower is now available. Of course, he can also bring a missile silo strike. Drops it up here. Good strike there. He does see himself into this medium medium tank. Takes out the command copter. Tank, artillery, and infantry. Good strike there. Of course, Cyrus has also got +15 global. Team's good defense this turn. tank, anti-air, battlecopter, infantry. Battlecopter almost goes down. Battlecopter does not go down. Good strike there on that tank. Battlecopter's at 2% health. But I don't think anything nearby can range it. This battlecopter in return has 2% health as well, so both of them will likely go down if either of them track each other. Oh, the 2 infantry was actually in range, so it's managed to gun it down. Anti-tank infantry bike. Still got one despicable neutral property on the field. Tank rotating around, bike hitting down south. Tank, artillery, or not tank, anti-air, blah. Mine's starting to melt. Decent amount of forces over here. Red has a decent amount of force up here. There's only pretty much infantry here, but which can easily get overran. And got a couple of tanks over here and a battlecopter. Got a wounded anti-air to provide fire support, and of course a battlecopter hardly is even existing. This bike should be able to pick off that battlecopter. Good amount of kills up there. Anti-tank pushing me forward. He has sealed inside the anti-tank. Anti-tanks are relatively expensive. Good strike there. Anti-tanks are 11,000. Decent price for them. So he did get a decent refund with his CO zone. Or CO boarding cost. Takes out that bike there, getting +1 CO zone expansion. Almost at 50 energy, just needs 10 more energy and we get some access to another superpower. Which missile silo shot could be very useful. Loading up a CO unit into this medium tank over here could be quite nice to help him front shift. Good shots there, takes out a couple of those units. A good number of units. Still got anti-tank here. Our artillery piece in range. It'd probably be a good idea to machine gun it down first with the infantry unit. Maybe use the anti-tank to finish it off. Good strike down the command tank. And I have a feeling the missile silo will strike right here. I remember from that previous one, I don't think it does friendly fire damage. Guess we'll find out soon enough. I think he should pop his superpower up here. Let's see what he does. There we go, superpower is now available. He did pop it up there. And does CO in that medium tank. Gets a good strike there. The +15, +15% global is very useful. Takes the battlecopter there. We're now Cyrus at 82,000. Zhaotiantong has at 80,000. Very similar, of course, the day-to-day income. So Cyrus is pulling slightly ahead. Tank personal on the right side. Tank, infantry. Now Cyrus's turn. Got ends the turn of 96,000. Cyrus starts the turn of 85, so it's still neck and neck when it comes to value. Of course, Cyrus will get some good amount of CO zone energy up here. This mech may not have to flip properly to get a good strike there, but maybe gotta just try to flip it to get an economic advantage. And right now, Zhaotiantong has plenty of tanks down here. Problem is also a pretty good escort for this anti-tank and artillery piece. This anti-tank's also down to 1 ammo, so it needs a resupply. Does capture that property. Lots of good hits there. He is falling back out of this region entirely. And right now it's 18,000 versus 15,000, so the income advantage is reasonable. It can be overcome with good play. Right now he does have more on the field, 103,000 he ended turn with versus a 76. And another power is soon to be available. Just needs another 15 more energy. He could probably maybe able to deploy that this turn, but it would lose a turn to this medium tank. Trying to capture that property. Range just creep his way forward. Anti-tank does fall back for a resupply. As much as he wants to push it forward, he just simply does not have the ammo. Good strikes there. At 59 energy, so next turn he can pop it. Don't think he'll lose the command tank in this turn. Full health and 4 health. That maybe will finish off the medium tank. Orange making some great pushes over here. Nope, he does not take out the command tank. So he will be able to pop his power. And a missile strike over here will probably be very good. Those things not popping just yet. He probably needs to seal one of these anti-tanks, probably this unvetted one. Where is he going? He's not going to pop a Suyo power? Oh, pops on top of himself and doesn't do any damage to himself. He does CO this tank right there. Makes some good headways over there. Anti-air bike infantry. Of course, he does also has plus 15% defense this turn, which is going to be very nice. Anti-air bike and tank. Merge right there. Good strike on that tank. Gonna flip that property as well. Anti-tank. Just good amount of force here. He is. The CO unit is a little bit exposed. Force screen does have a good number of artillery pieces here. Does put some units in front of it though. The artillery piece, however, go down. The anti-tanks are good versus vehicles. Don't get me wrong. It does put another infantry unit in front of it. The command tank does fall back over here. This command tank could go down this turn, but looks like it will not. Good strikes along the flank. Artillery, battlecopter, bike, infantry. Takes out the anti-air. Good strike there on the tank. Takes out that tank. Marines really flipped it around up here. Battlecopter goes down. Anti-tank gets a good strike there. Finish off the battlecopter. Anti-tank gets a strike there on the infantry unit. The artillery piece does not engage the infantry unit as well. Infantry unit does a good hit there, takes out the infantry unit. And the rig does take a pretty good hit there as well. Command battlecopter now floating field, pushing down south with it. It looks like a handful of these tanks are falling back. Bike will push forward. And we do now have another anti-tank up north. On the bottom side, we'll get a good strike there. These anti-tanks are in range. Gets a strike on there as well. Some rounds of that artillery piece supply there. Both of these artillery pieces are pretty wounded. Tanks pushing along the left side. Looks like in here it does fall back. There's only this one command copter on the field, so nothing too significant. So falling back, it's a repair, it's not a half bad thing. Battlecopter and triple infantry. Cyrus ends turn of 109,000. Zhaotiantong starts the turn with 79. So Cyrus has a decent advantage. Takes the battlecopter there. Tank, bike. And it's getting some repairs there. Anti-air does take a pretty good strike there. Finish off the regular tank. Goes around to the bike. This anti-tank's down to 2 rounds. He does have an APC, of course. And got a couple property flips there. This one could get interrupted. And red still has a decent income, 3,000 income lead. His property is still a despicable neutral. It looks like this artillery piece will range the Vet 1 tank. Bike, anti-air. Tank push over here. We'll finish off that unit. Gets a good strike there. So it looks like both of them... Oh, no. I thought this one was going to get interrupted, but it looks like it was this one. Cyrus' command takes at 55 energy, so very close to power. Some decent shots over here. And we've got tank infantry. Anti-tank still at 1, has 1 ammo remaining. Now he has superpower available, but this the command tank could go down. Got 4 health tank, 7 health tank, and of course a 3 health tank. Takes out the medium tank down there, finish off some of these outlying units. Anti-tank does take a pretty good strike there. This anti-tank's actually out of ammo. Anti-air, tank, and bike. Of course, this anti-tank's out of ammo, so it can't finish off that tank. Finish off those units there with the infantry. Good strike there. And does launch a superpower there, so and seals the battlecopter. It surrounds that anti-tank. Tank, infantry. Bike heading down south. Got another battle copter there. That tank does go down. Anti-air does like a pretty good strike. The tank does go down. Takes out some of those units. Good shot there on the artillery piece. Finish off that bike there. Takes off that unit there. Good shot there on the bike. And tank on tank. Trying to flip the property there. Now I got this tank heading up north as well. Battlecopter, infantry, infantry, infantry. Good strike there on the capturing infantry squad. Interrupts his capture. Interrupts his flip as well. And we got now command copter there. ATR engages the infantry unit there. Wounded tank falls on back. Good strike there on that tank. Tank anti-air. Anti-tank creeps way forward, falls back over there, gets a strike there in the anti-air. Gets that infantry unit there. Command copter does fall back, puts a round into that tank, giving him 33 energy. Takes out some of these outlying units there, trying to get multiple flips. This one has 2 capture progress remaining. This one, of course, has 10. So possible 2 flips next turn does stop that capture there. Bike, anti-air. APC does go down. Command copter does get good strike there on the tank. Good shot there. Tank, bike. Capture does flip those 2 properties, so now he's at 18,000 versus 15,000. Finish off a lot of those units there. Not too much is left up here. You now have 55 energy, pretty close to a CO power. I've got this battlecopter migrating up north as well. No anti-air up here, nor on the left side, just like a battlecopter engage with. Another intake infantry. Tank. Does get a shot there and does finish the command copter, so no CO power. Meteor, bike, and another tank. Pretty much knocks out that command copter. Good strike up there. Got a max vet anti-tank. Good around there. Finish off the infantry unit. You know, I'm so surprised this command copter didn't get finished off. At 1 HP, 1% HP, so anything can finish off with 1 shot. You always do a minimum of 1 damage, so even 1 health infantry unit should be able to finish it off. At this point in time, he could just sack it or delete it so he can deploy out another vehicle next turn. Artillery, bike. Gets a good strike on the infantry unit there. Tank push on the left side. And does wait the same tank there. I think 9 health is perfect fine to push forward. Is that bike there? Good strike there on the infantry unit. Finish it off there. Alright, flip that property there. That one does go down. Right now, Cyrus does have 101,000 field for just 67 for Zhaotiantong. Bike, tank. Takes out some of these outlying infantry units there. COs inside this tank there. Good strike on the anti-air. Put some rounds in the anti-air. Finish it off. Battlecopter pushes way forward. No counterless battlecopter in the moment. Tank, bike, infantry. Anti-air there. Good strike into that tank. Bike, tank. Good strike there. Tank does go down. Bike head up north. Tank, bike. That one unit does go down. Command tank pushes down south. Gets a good strike there on that regular tank. Artillery bike. Takes out that bike there. Command tank push up north. Get some good strikes up here. Finish off that one unit. He's at 29 energy, almost +1 CO zone. Also got this anti-tank almost out of ammo again. Battlecopter infantry bike. Good strike right there. It looks like we just got a bit of build-up phase. Turn 44. Oh, this game's a long one. Good shot there, gets +1 CO zone. It'll break through a little bit more easily. Does get that anti-tank on top of the city there to get a resupply. Good strike there on the command tank. And we'll finish off the command tank there. Mech T-copter bike. Good strike there. Get some good hits there on those infantry units. Artillery hit down south. Command tank does good strike there. Artillery piece head up north. Does put some rounds into that tank. There's a good number of artillery pieces there. I've got triple artillery piece. Quadruple if you include the 4 health one. And anti-tank's creeping the way forward. Does pop the CO power up here. Reloads the CO unit into this tank down here. And those artillery pieces are just getting ripped apart. Take out some of these outlying units. I think artillery piece pushing way forward. Bike. Mech, tank, bike. Right now it's 19,000 versus 15,000. This property is no longer despicable neutral. Battlecopter, mech. Does merge those artillery pieces. There's an okay shot there on the anti-tank. Does finish off that bike. And right now Cyrus is starting to run away with the game. Starts to turn 143,000 versus 57. Has more than double his opponent's value in the field. Yeah, there's nothing much I can say at the moment. I think Cyrus has this game. Command battlecopter now deployed in the field. Goes for anti-tank up north to help stabilize the region. Artillery pieces pushing to the bottom. Now let's go for another mech. Looks like Green's starting to threaten some of these properties in the middle there. Probably a good way to help close out the game, get some extra income. Right now it's 20,000 versus 14. Got another rig in tank. I think the rig right now is meant for this battlecopter, who's almost out of ammo, getting pretty low in fuel. Take the floor on the field, good strike there for the command copter. Those opponent's battlecopter still in range. Unclear to the left flank there. Battlecopter strikes the battlecopter. Of course, that's. Oh, yeah, doesn't take its ammo because it's the machine gun, not the rockets. Now it's turn 49. Looks like Red's not back on the game just yet, but this game's pretty much over. He's now down to 40,000, less than 40,000 versus 162. Artillery, 8 to tank. Does finish off some of those outlying units. I think needs some resupply relatively soon. At this point in time, probably just gonna go for bomber spam and just close the game of bombers. Right now he is 10,000 income ahead. Does CO the anti-tank that's on top of the HQ. There's another anti-tank there. And you can really lock on this area indirect fire. So I think bombers are the way to go. Yeah, a command anti-tank on top of a HQ is going to be very hard to displace. Does go for a bomber. Maybe just to not spend infantry to keep the money up to keep on getting bombers out. Not necessarily submits them, I just simply go down the list and see what appears to be good, decent length. It just happened that he has a lot of good, decent length replays. Where they go on for a decent amount of time, and they're not really bad to spectate, though he just doesn't surrender. Which is a bit of a problem. Because at this point in time, just surrender. In pretty much an aiding game, there's always a player just refuses to surrender. And Von Ivan is basically for a couple years too, and I think PeePeePooPoo is the person who just doesn't want to surrender in Days of Ruin. And that's why I think Green should just go for bombers, just go for high tech. He has plenty of ground forces, just try to punch through with bombers. Get some good strikes there. Watches are capturing the HQ now, just end the game. Of course, that anti-tank is in range of the HQ. Probably take 3 more turns, join capture the other bike that's nearby. It will be at 8 health. And the bombers push right forward. Another bomber, of course, explode on the field. Does CO on top of the anti-tank there. War tank back there. Just surrender. There was a dust around there. Joining capture there. Bomber push way forward. Does, of course, get +1 CO zone. Doesn't really matter at this point in time. And the rig does get on top of the airport. And everything just basically locked down. Only way, there's no way he can deploy out anything with this base there. You have to delete a unit on top from the anti-tank in order to get some deploy out there. And just finish the game with HQ capture, just end it. And looks like it's just gonna take time to just fire away. It might be possible for him to get the route, just 1 unit remaining at 5 health, and gets the route. There's Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.